Hello everybody. This is Kirusha here. Now, one thing I have seen is someone was asking why that lady possessed Ibarra and who she was and where she was in Doom lore. There is no one like that in Doom lore. I kind of made it up. This is basically my reasoning for why Deku will hate demons. Now then, let's continue where we left off. Deku, he would wake up after about another, let's say a full 16 hours. Deku wakes up and he actually tries to move. As soon as he goes to move, he actually feels that he feels like that thing is still in his gut. But as he looks up, he no longer sees the blue sky. In fact, he is actually in a hospital room. Now, he actually goes to get on his feet, and as soon as he does so, he actually just gets told by the doctor that he needs to stay down. In fact, it's a miracle he's even alive, because they don't even know exactly what he was hit with, let alone stabbed with. Deku just asked how long was he out for. The doctors would tell him exactly 16 hours, 32 minutes. Now, Deku, hearing this, is very angry, because this means that the 3 days on Earth that he was trapped in the 9 circles in 16 hours, that's been at least 3 to nearly 3.5 years in hell. So he is now thinking he has to get back. He would just ask the doctor for a phone. As soon as he gets it, he actually calls All Might. Now, All Might is actually in the middle of the conference where they're essentially getting the whole go-ahead to raid the villain's base. But, well, they're getting the warrant and everything planned out, and they are actually just talking as All Might gets a phone call. All Might actually answers it, and I want to say that there's actually like a week between the Force training arc and the villain raid, or the essentially all for one battle. I want to say there's about a week, so this is in between, around perfectly. So All Might picks up, and he's actually surprised. He's asking Deku exactly why he thought he was, from what he heard, some students saying the last time they saw him or heard from him, he went to hell. Deku would just say he did, but there was a bit of an incident. He is at this hospital. All Might just thinking, wait, how many people are there with you? None. So what happened to them? They're still in hell. Wait, so how are you on Earth? Long story short, Ibarra is under some demon's control, and I got injured, but she essentially threw me through the portal. I can't get back through because that's not how any of this works. So she is essentially going to be running around hell and probably Earth very soon. What hospital are you at exactly? This one. Okay, as All Might actually leaves the conference, he jumps off, actually arriving at the hospital 30 minutes to, I want to say, an hour later, after giving the exact address to All Might. Now then, Deku, he would actually arrive, or All Might would actually arrive, and he would see Deku. Deku is still in the bed as he is eating food. All Might just tells him that he's lucky to be alive, and Deku would say he's not lucky at all. All his friends are left in hell, and the way time passes, he's figured out exactly how long it takes. It's been about almost 4 days. That's nearly around... It's almost been 5 years since I've seen everyone. Or since they've seen me. So we have to go back down. You're in no condition to go back down. I know I'm not, but there's something down there that can help me. In fact, I'm pretty sure it can help both of us. What do you mean? Well, my injuries are new, so from what the doctor told me, none of my organs are injured or damaged. I, however, do have broken ribs and a few cracks in them, so it'll take me a couple weeks to heal. But I don't have that time. As Deku's talking about this, he actually grabs onto All Might, and he actually starts making his wings. He immediately takes off flying as he tells All Might to shrink down. All Might would do so, and these two are actually just going back to the lab. Deku would arrive, and this confuses his dad. Wait, what? This is confusing. Okay, Dad, long story short, this is happening. Another thing, do you have another one of those watches? Well, of course I do. I made multiple, but you guys just left last time. Alright, thanks, Dad. As Deku takes the new watch, putting it on, and he just walks through the portal with this tiny man. Now, All Might, as everyone else has been, is confused at what's going on. Deku just says, "Welcome to hell," as he immediately picks up All Might and begins flying. Now, as he's flying, this is whenever a large figure with ginormous wings would actually come by them. Deku, he's somewhat intrigued because he's thinking that, oh, this is just another demon. But the figure is actually flying next to him. Deku looks closer, and it's somebody in a suit with metal wings. They're flying? Okay, that's new. As the person automatically just points down to the ground, Deku would actually just fly all the way to the base, going into the town, going into the library, and essentially moving the books around. Now, as soon as he does this, the person actually lands, and they're taking off the wings. They walk back in as Deku runs into everyone once again. Everyone's talking, and he's actually meeting Shinsho after 5 years of training, asking him how he's doing. Shinsho would just bring up his arm, looking at it, saying, "Oh, he's doing fairly well. In fact, his biceps are bigger than May's now." May would just look at him, saying, "Don't get cocky. You still have not gotten a chance to whoop my ass. Speaking of which, when do you want a rematch?" As they are saying this, Deku, he actually looks, and he sees Tokugami and Todoroki. They are both sitting down, actually reading a couple books. Ida and everyone else, they are all talking with Deku, and people actually see that he's holding his side. They're asking exactly where is Ibarra, and he would just say that, well, we kinda tried talking things out with the devil. Okay, define talking. I kinda chopped his head off. Okay. So that still doesn't explain where she is. We were trying to see if he had the other side of her soul. Not just that, I think she thought that he can separate her and the doctor. So, you cut off the devil's head just because you thought he would have a solution. Yeah, in hindsight, it was a bad idea. But also, you guys kinda don't need to train here anymore. In fact, I believe that you're all gonna have a chance to use your training. What do you mean? Well, wait, where's Bakugo? As Bakugo walks in, and he takes off his helmet, showing that Bakugo's hair is shorter, and he's actually a lot more muscular. He's asking Bakugo exactly what did he do, or how did he even make that suit? Oh, this thing? Yeah, don't worry about it. In fact, it's that finished piece that you had in that fabricator. Or that thing. May actually spent a lot of time working on it, and she actually has the final design. But where's Ibarra? That's the thing. Apparently, the Nomu is also down here with us. It's in the ninth circle. So, might be Ibarra. I'm not really sure. All I know is, pretty soon, there's supposed to be some carnage. In fact, I believe that... I believe that there's going to be a lot more demons on Earth pretty soon. Define pretty soon. I'm not sure. All I know is, whatever has Ibarra, it's got a hold of her. She now has an extra soul. What do you mean? How many souls have you been, putting into that girl, man? Well, you see, this one wasn't my fault. She thought that what she found was a fragment of her own soul. But it was not. It was something else. I'm not even sure what that thing was. However, it stabbed me with this, as Deku would immediately hold up a key, or the giant key. Now, he would then go on stating that they have a war on their hands. But before we go any further, as he essentially knocks on the wall, All Might would walk in his tiny form. People are asking exactly who that guy is, and he would just say... He would look over to Bakugo, and Bakugo would just say, well, it's time to give them a proper explanation, don't you think, All Might? Wait, All Might? As everyone in the room now knows the secret. After explaining everything, I just almost dropped my cup. People are still confused. Well, that kind of explains it. Explains what? Well, Bakugo was talking about how he found some all burnt up book, and from what he could salvage before it fell apart, was gravity magic. Basically like a way to fly. But I don't think that's right. Wait, you can fly now? Yeah, after Black Whip, I kinda... yeah, about that. I was trying to train Todoroki and Tokoyami, and I actually basically sat there while they tried throwing objects at me. For some odd reason, I started floating. But I was holding a book when it happened. So I just told them that I kinda read a passage in it, and it somewhat worked. But I kinda blew it up, as I said. I knew you couldn't be that stupid. As Todoroki walks up, he actually somewhat gives a nice smirk. So, All Might has a quirk that can be passed down, and he's able to... Essentially, you're using 4. Including your own, I believe. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. So, we got a war brewing, and an ally to save. So why did you bring All Might? Well, All Might show them. All Might would reveal the wound, and everyone's watching as... All Might is brought to the medbay. They essentially would watch as All Might gets somewhat healed in a medical chamber. Essentially, it would take a sample of All Might's blood, and it would be able to create synthetic versions of the organs All Might has lost. These organs aren't fully functional, but, well, they're somewhat functioning, but they have a limit. Now, All Might essentially would take these, and he would also get a pair of armor, along with gauntlets. Essentially just armor that the demons were wearing. along with some of the gauntlets Deku has, and an actual version of Deku's chestplate. Deku also walks back into the room, and he actually does a bit. He essentially says that he'll be fine. His injuries aren't as bad as his. As Deku actually walks in the room, actually putting on the chest armor, saying that he wishes he had this about 3 days ago. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask about that. Exactly what happened? Okay. The 9 circles of hell are a very tricky place. Ibarra got stuck in one called Heresy. I won't go into why she got stuck in there, but I got stuck in the first circle. I can't accept myself because of my quirk. I'm a jackass. I'll give myself that. But, basically, she got further than I did. Now, because of this, we also need to go. But we should wait. As they would wait for All Might to get done, Deku, he actually just gets working on the rest of what May has been doing. May has essentially been putting her skills to the test to try and create a helmet. In fact, she's been able to make herself these goggles, and she would show them off. That they're basically like a prototype of the helmet, but they don't work as well. So we might just need the whole thing. In fact, I even have these, as she would show off that she created a gun that also has a missile setting. Very fun gun in Doom, I must say. Now then. This is whenever Deku, he picks it up, and he somewhat flinches as he does so, realizing that he basically just needs to wear the suit. He would put the suit on, and he now has most of the armor, he just doesn't have the helmet. He's asking May if she has a different type of helmet that he can wear. She would say not one as advanced, but it's just, I believe there's one of the old ones back in the room over there. As Deku puts it on, he finds that it's actually very uncomfortable and very annoying, so he would work on improving and making a new helmet while All Might is still in the chamber. Deku would then go over everything he can and explain everything in detail to what happened. Everyone would hear this, and they would realize that they need to go back on Earth and essentially start preparing. Because All Might told them they were going to be facing off against a villain. And with their help, he should be fine. But in response to the fact that all the heroes will be busy that day, everyone might get badly hurt. Or the Earth might be taken over. So, this is going to be war. Now, as they are talking about this, Deku would get his full set of armor. He has the gun, he has a pistol, he has the shotgun, and he now has the assault rifle. Now, he basically has the full Doom gear. I know someone really appreciates that, and they're probably fangirling right now. Please calm down. Now then, you know who you are. I've seen you talk a lot about what Deku has. Now then, Deku, he would essentially walk back into the room as he would let All Might out of the chamber after a couple hours. All Might is actually in an in-between form. He's actually retaining some of his muscle mass while in his tiny form. He basically looks like high school All Might whenever he was training with Nana. I believe that's how Buffy was. But Deku would also tell All Might that he's not sure how good those fake organs will hold up. If not those synthetics. They should be fine, but you may be weakened after a while. could stay here longer, but we're all ready. Do you want to stay here and we can come back for you? I don't think that's a good idea. You've told me that this place does something to people. I don't plan on staying here. Alright, well, let's go. And I want to say All Might's now back at least 10% stronger now. At least he's able to retain some of his power. Now, this is whenever Deku and everyone would all leave. They would come back through the portal, and... Ooh, hang on. They would all come through the portal, and... Deku's dad's even more confused. That tiny man is now All Might, and everyone else is here. Everyone immediately just runs into the next room, chugging as much water as they can. As Todoroki's actually using some fire magic in his left hand, and ice magic in his right. Basically making up for the fact that he has to change anytime he needs one or the other. Alright, now, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video and... shit, that hurts. Okay. The reason why I have not been able to record a lot today is it's been very noisy in my house. And also, I have pinched nerves in my back right now, and they're acting up. And it's basically triggering my body into thinking my asthma is acting up. So if my breathing has been heavier throughout my recordings today, just know that that is actually it. And it is not a fun thing to deal with. Okay, so for those of you who have stuck around my channel and love this what if, sadly, all good things must come to an end. So, during the last episode of this what if, I will draw from my cup. And realizing just me calling it my cup, I just might as well call it the cup. I might as well just call it the cup. Since there's basically about 40 or 50 what if ideas stuck into it. And it's not even a fifth of the way full. Now, I actually will count that in between recording. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that that's a lot of paper. Now then, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys later.